Hi, my name is Shay. My wife's name is Kaylee, and together we are tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. Hello and happy Friday. I am thrilled to let you all know that this is going to be the last solo Shay budget for the foreseeable future. It's been 3 Fridays now, and Kaylee is finally coming back today. I'm so excited. It's been obviously a very long weekend change. She's been in Austin. I've been here working my little butt off on this musical that I am opening next week. Kaylee was visiting, specifically visiting with family for family reunion activities and funeral activities. And then she spent a couple of days just with her siblings in Austin, doing some fun prancing around in Austin, Texas. So that's where she's been. And I have been at home. I went to go see a show that my friends produced at the Stonewall Inn, which was super good. And obviously I've been at a butt ton of rehearsals. But mostly I've just been very, very busy running around, doing my best to manage the house all by myself with Kaylee gone. It's really hard, guys. I remember it being very difficult to run a whole life by yourself without, the help of anyone else. I remember that, but I always feel like I forget a little bit. And then anytime Kaylee's out of town for, a business trip or visiting family where I can't come with her, I remember how hard it is just to, run your own life. I miss her so much. If you'll remember last weekend, I was very, very ill, but I'm finally feeling better. Back to 100% today, which is great, because next week, starting this afternoon, we are driving to Providence for our friend's wedding, and we are so super excited about that. So that's going to be most of our weekend, is wedding in Providence. And then the other things that I have this week are a bunch of tech and dress rehearsals for the musical that I'm opening, and we are going to see a concert that I am super excited about. It's the Maris and Caroline Kingsbury combo tour. They're doing a tour, it's called Give Me a Tour, and they're coming to New York City, and they're two smaller artists, and I just happen to love both of them, so I'm very excited to see it, and Kaylee's gonna come with me, and that's gonna be on Thursday night. So that's what we have going on this week. So without further ado, let's get into the budget. All right, this is what we've got going on. We do have some overspent categories, but it's not actually overspending. I had a feeling that the way that we normally parse out all of our different things that we need on a weekly basis was not really going to be how this week went, because I had a lot of extra food in the fridge. So I didn't need to spend as much on groceries or household consumables. We were pretty well stocked when Kaylee left for Texas. So I ended up spending a little bit more money on ordering food, and I went out obviously to see my friends in a show, and we had a little cast bonding trip to the pub across the street after rehearsal yesterday. So that's what the booze is. And then I didn't think I would need to spend more money on the laundry, but we had a minor kitten incident, and an extra load of laundry did have to be done. So that's where this overspending is coming from. So let's take care of that right now. Vitamins, I already looked through everything, and I know exactly where I'm going to pull from to cover the overspending for each of these respectively. So I'm going to cover this from household consumables. You can't see it. We're going to go ahead and cover that. I'm trying to remember that I can type things in. Okay. And then the rest of this I'm going to cover with grocery money, because I did not go grocery shopping at all this week. I only had to buy a couple things out. Most of the stuff that I ordered out, I had one dinner out because I could have made dinner at home, but it was really, really late when I got home, and I just didn't want to take that time to do that. And then also I forgot to pack lunch for our technical rehearsal yesterday, so whoops. So that is what we're going to use to cover the rest of this. Boom. All right. And then we have bills, reimbursement parking. I get reimbursed for my train tickets that I have to take to and from work for my day job occasionally, and that check is still in the mail. It's on its way though. So once we get that in, that will cover the rest of the overspending that you see here in reimbursement parking. So that's what we've got going on. Super simple, super straightforward. I kind of foresaw that coming, but I still wanted to just like go through and budget everything the way that we normally do. Just kind of with the knowledge that that money might end up in different categories, and it did, which is cool. Moving on to rent. Now, last week, many of you very kindly pointed out that I made an error. I overwrote the $350 that I had originally set aside the week before last, so there was only, after that, a total of $800, which is $350 short of what it should have been as of last week. Thank you all for pointing that out. Many of you did. So now we have to remedy that. Since we were $350 short last week, and normally what we set aside on a week when only Kaylee is getting paid, which is one of these weeks, is we also set aside $350. So $700 is almost Kaylee's entire paycheck. I think we can make it work, but what I'm gonna do for now is assign $500. I'm gonna go through, see if I can work it out so that I can put that other $200 also on rent, but if it ends up being less than $200 that I can afford to put on rent, then that is just going to be what that is. But we're gonna circle back around to this after I'm done making sure that we can like purchase groceries and stuff like that. So back to September. Let's take a look at our weekly view, which is just a cute little filter that we put on all of our categories for things that we know we need every week. So groceries, $17.24 available, and I'm not gonna have to buy groceries again until Monday, so I think I'm gonna put $75 in here instead of our usual hundo, because we are a little strapped for funds because of that rent mistake that I made. $57.76, so that's what we're gonna put in groceries, plus $57.76. Yay! Okay, so that is groceries. I think $75 will be plenty for whatever we need Monday through Friday next week, which will be great. Transportation, I made sure was fully funded last week, so I'm just going to leave that as is. Booze. I'm just going to add 20 to this because I have a feeling that we're going to want to do something cheeky for my opening night, which is Friday? Something like that. Yes, my opening night is Friday. We'll see. Hopefully we won't use it, but we might. I'm also going to add $20 to ordering food, because as per usual, I don't really plan on anything, but something tends to come up. So I'm just going to do that. Household consumables, I know for a fact I will need some stuff. Laundry, we should be fine for the rest of the month. This week has been, or this month, I should say, has been very, very spendy in the laundry department, which I don't love. But there were just like lots of things that happened that required many like midweek loads of laundry. So that's what happened. Wyatt is Kaylee's cousin / nephew, and every week we set aside $10 for him so that we can get him something nice when he turns 18. So that's just something that we set aside a little bit for every single week. Okay, we have $355 left, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to October and put the other $200, just now that I know that everything for this week is like covered and will be okay. I'm gonna add also that $200 back so that we are in a much better place to be done saving up for rent for October by the end of the month. So that's good, and we will use this other $155 for a couple of things. Let's see. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud to myself. I'm trying to remember where our Roth IRAs live now, because those are also going to come out. They're not going to come out before Kaylee's next paycheck, but I do just want to make sure I lay eyes on them. These are going to come out. I just don't want to leave the whole of this. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put $50 in each of our Roth IRAs, because that is gonna come out next week whether we like it or not. So then at least we won't be so strapped for cash. Let's see how much we can cover in the bills department with the rest of this. Ugh, that hurts. Okay. All of these other bills are annual ones that we need to save up for incrementally, so they're not as immediate. I'm gonna throw the other 50 in here. And that leaves us with $5.11. Sheesh. Okay. I knew this was gonna go fast, but that still hurts. Okay. We are also going to do some moving of things around probably midweek when Kaylee gets back and gets all of everything settled from her trip. We're probably going to reallocate. There's probably going to be some left over from Kaylee's family reunion trip that you see right here, and we are probably going to go ahead and reallocate that elsewhere, maybe for the cruise that's coming up next month or something like that, but that's also something that we are probably going to take care of midweek. The rest of this $5.11 is going to go into the wish farm. Which is great. And that is everything. I did what I could, but that mistake that I made with the rent last week really is not great. All right, let's move on to the student loans, shall we? We have a separate budget for the student loans. It is called, oh no, my future, it's broken. And every week, $325 gets pulled directly out of Kaylee's paycheck and put into a separate account so that we are not tempted to take that and use it for other things. And that is all going to go right on student loan number 10, because we are trying to get student loan number 10 paid off in full by the time September is over. And I think we might be able to do it. Maybe. We'll see. Once my pay actually starts coming in, because I don't start getting paid for all of the rehearsals that I'm doing right now for the show until the show opens. That's kind of just the way that our pay is structured. So I'll actually get my paycheck for all of the rehearsals that I've been doing on opening night. So once that starts rolling in, all of that is going to go toward the student loans. So we might be good to go. We might be able to do this. Okay, excellent. Pretty quiet week here on the home front. Our lives have been very interesting and exciting and busy and all of that stuff. So if you want to see more fun and exciting content, we do vlogs of our life and also our own personal health journeys every week, and those come out on Sundays. And this coming Sunday, you are going to get a big, mega, double vlog of the last 2 weeks, because obviously Kaylee didn't have access to our home computer where she edits all of this stuff. So we did not put out a vlog last week, but that means you'll be getting double mega vlog this week. Sometimes on Tuesdays we have stuff that we want to talk about on video, and sometimes we don't. I don't think we have a Tuesday video lined up for you this coming Tuesday. But then every Friday, no matter what, we sit down and we do our budget together. That is what we've got going on. And I will see you when I see you.